Right now, we vex. We say we want jackpot. But right now, the place we won't go save, bro. Then tighten ammo. Right now, things change. UK immigration law is getting crazy. I tell you, I kid you not.
Therefore, we will increase annual immigration health surcharge this year by 66%, from £624 to £1,035. To those coming on health and social care visa routes will be exempt, so we can continue to bring in the healthcare workers on which our care sector and NHS rely. I have asked the Migration Advisory Committee to review the occupations on this list because of our new higher skilled worker salary thresholds. And we will create a new immigration salary list with a reduced number of occupations. People only bring dependents who they can support financially.
So UK is saying that their immigration law is not going to be the
especially
same.
for care workers.
Yes,
foreign care workers coming.
This is just the foreign care. You know, beginning of the year or mid-year, they raised one which has to do with education.
Yes,
where
you can bring
dependents for when you're coming to school.
Yes.
So they are just tightening the.
So for me, the question I'm asking, does this not affect them because they are doing this because they need the workmanship, they need the human resource?
Yes, they do.
And so if you are tightening it, doesn't it rather like
they are to their disadvantage, right?
They is not attractive enough.
They rather should be at a disadvantage.
When you go across the street and you go and buy wache, what do you want? Rice, beans, gari, and whatever.
Some will to for the inside.
The economy is the economy.
If you get a quarter of the bowl being wache and then 3/4 is gari, do you like that?
Oh no!
Exactly, because you didn't go and buy gari. You went to buy wache.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what wache is, rice and beans. It's a delicacy in Ghana.
Yeah.
Rice and beans. If you
should come and try it.
So you didn't go and buy gari. You went to buy rice and beans. It's the same thing. The UK government has certain pivotal areas of their economy that they want valuable workman. What's the name? Workforce for.
Right.
And the health sector happens to be one of them, especially the caregiving side. That's why we have influx of Africans going there to do care work, take on all manner of shifts and make the money.
Right.
Now they've realized that the trend is that one caregiver makes it in the UK and they bring it like dependents of 5 people. So out of over 100,000 caregivers that came to the country, about 200,000 dependents followed them into the UK.
Wow.
And that population is only about 10% or 20% of the dependents who are in gainful employment that leads to tax and all of that.
25.
Now the rest, this increase in population, because they are opening their doors to caregivers, is putting a strain on their social infrastructure. More trains must be provided, transportation, more road infrastructure must be provided, health infrastructure, whatever it is. And these people are not contributing to the economy directly or tangibly. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So that's the main issue. And every country has the right to make these decisions. My question is, Ghana as a country, where a lot of these workforce contribution is coming from, what do we get back? Mind you, our system is training these nurses. We are paying allowances to these nurses, and then the UK government essentially benefits. We should start charging the UK government for the influx of health workers into the economy, and we can get part of those taxes.
Yeah, I keep saying that I don't think our leaders see human resource as a resource for development, because the amount of skilled workers that leave Ghana that we have trained and have you mean unless you go to a private university, which started just like about 10 years ago, every single person that was educated in this country benefited from government funds one way or the other. We were paying subsidized fees in secondary school. We were paying subsidized fees in university. We are trained. You are waiting for a job. You are not getting it. Of course, someone gives you an offer to leave, you leave. You know, there was a time where the nurses signed a bond to stay.
Yeah.
They signed this bond and they are waiting one whole year. They've not been posted. And the bond does not say 2 years work before you go. It says maybe a number of years after school you're supposed to serve the country. So if by the time I finish waiting on the bond to die out and you've not posted me, it's your laws as a country. Why do we have nurses? Every time we are hearing nurses, we are hearing trained professionals, we are hearing
400,000 nurses
are waiting. They are waiting to be how do we call it, posted. People finish school and they are waiting to be posted. So of course their brain drain will keep on happening. Why can't we export these people when they finish school? Let them write the certification. There's a government system. You go and apply. If you are one of the people who want to leave the country, you apply. The government facilitates it, exports you, and then we pay like we're doing the Cuba for doctors.
Cuban doctors. Yeah. So it's a win-win for the two. What she's saying is a win-win for the two governments, because now when the UK government is doing it on an individual basis, you are having dependents come. But if it's a government-to-government arrangement, then our governments know exactly who the nurse is and how many of them are going, and they are going without dependents. It's a structured program. You get my point?
Yeah.
That the government has some control over. So the two governments can work it out and they get exactly the number they need without the extra cost of dependents. And even that dependent thing could be managed between the two countries. It has to be managed well.
Because I also don't think it's fair to say don't come with your dependents. Because if I'm in Ghana and I have a kid that's 4 years or under 18 years, so in our country under 18 is a child under 18-year-old, and you need my services. I also need the pay you're giving me, and you tell me I can't bring down my child who is a dependent. Well, how do I look after my child? Where do I leave my child? Because remember, it's not just about sending the money back home. I want to be involved in raising that child. I want to be involved in that child's life. I want to be involved in the decisions that are made about that child. So there has to be a fine balance. I see that they said they're going to increase. So of course they're going to increase the pay or the enticements to convince you to come without dependence. But they have to find a fine balance.
They are dealing with the pushback or the rippling effect, which is that it should not be a disincentive for future health workers coming to the UK. So they are going to incentivize the remuneration and reduce the tax for the health worker. So then you have to make that decision. That decision becomes easier for you to leave your dependents behind and still go, because now it's even more lucrative.
But they are forgetting that they are not the only ones. So you see, today as we speak, UK is not a superpower when it comes to the economy. Since they did that Brexit thing. So there's Canada, there's Australia, there's EU. There are so many other people who are also in need of the same health care that you want, right?
But they will all do that. So it's a principle, it's an immigration principle. The companies, the countries that are building their economy on immigration and brain drain are looking at taking the most talented, the most valuable core from around the world to be competitive enough for them. That's the only core they want. Now when they net it and then the population influx is becoming a problem, they will tighten that aspect. That's what they are trying to do. So very soon all the countries that you are talking about will do the same. That brings me to my final point. There is no country that will be compared to yours. Like if you want to jackpot, but it is never a panacea for the problems we have in our country. Because whether you like it, it has to be fixed. Even if you are moving, you can't move with your entire family or your extended family. Number two, increasingly it will be more and more difficult to go there. So let's expend those energies of looking for a way out to actually pushing our system to get better. Then you have more rights in your own country. You can build a proper life and all that.
In fact, when I went under that post, half of the comments were like, if it's not for our leaders in Africa, would we be going to another person's country for them to be telling us to leave our families?
Who are actively keeping you out? They are actively keeping you out. Like what are Ghana's Ghana's immigration policy? Who in this world even knows and cares about Ghana's immigration policy? Because nobody cares. Nobody's coming here.
And this is not just Ghana.
You get what I'm saying? No, I'm saying that Ghana's
we are not even attractive enough.
What are they coming to do?
You know?
Normally, they only come here when they want to set up an NGO. So it's like a helping hand. Normally people want to show that they are giving back to society. Then they come to Africa. Like there's a YouTuber that I follow that like is amazing. He does so well. He gives a lot in the US. He decided he wanted to give up back. He chose Africa. He's been building schools and wells all over, Mr. Beast. So they only come to us when they want to help us. Like we are not attractive.
Actively keeping you out.
Yes.
So challenge.
So if it's not our leaders, we won't even be having this conversation in the first.
You're still watching Sauce and Pepper. Let us know what you think. In wrapping up, you know, the spirit of all this law that they are pushing is actually to solve a particular problem, which is the immigration problem. So do you think this actually solves that problem?
I really think
I don't want to help UK solve any immigration problem.
People will look, see, when the page I personally like, I saw that video from somebody who helps people like into immigration get into, and the comments are like, so which other country can we go? So the person has moved on to the next country. Not if you won't bring me with my dependents, there's another country that needs my service, I would go. But of course, maybe the money incentive might attract somebody. If I don't have any dependents, of course,
when it comes to caregiving, lots of people go to the UK. Means that they have an aged population, and once it comes down to this childbirth thing I'm talking about. When these old people are giving birth to children, they think that the children will be looking after them in their old age. They quickly want to go and put them in some home, and if they don't put them in a home, they want a caregiver from Africa who doesn't mind taking care of them to take care of them. So the two conversations conclude all in one.
So we can all work hand in hand and then benefit from each other. So this has been Sauce and Pepper, another edition, and I hope you enjoyed this
What is the meaning of what you just said? You just tell me.
So I said we can work.
The two conversations are together.
And the
countries. The countries, both the one who is drafting the law and against who they are drafting the law, can work hand in hand so that everyone can benefit from each other. So this has been Sauce and Pepper. We hope you enjoyed this segment. Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. Till then, we are out of here.